All right, welcome to the 2018 Spring Final Exam Review video for AMDN. Now, a quick disclaimer, you can read it as I'm talking, and that is, this video is an additional resource. It may not address all of your individual questions. That's what tutoring is for. So if you finish watching this video and it is still, that you still have questions, then please come in and see me or Coach Moore. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, first off, you have weekly, bi-weekly, daily. That is all of the numbers that applies to each of these times here. And remember, it's everything out of a year, so there's 52 weeks out of the year, so on and so forth, 365 days out of the year, so on and so forth. All right, so here we go. Question number one, Fred works as an accountant and gets paid monthly. His gross pay is that. All right, so we are changing from monthly to weekly. Now, if you remember, you cannot go straight to monthly to weekly. Can't do that. No, don't do that. All right, so what you're going to have to do is you are going to have to go from monthly, change it to yearly, and then divide back to weekly. So you're dealing with monthly, so that is a times 12 situation. Get your, so let me just write it up here, 3,570 times 12. You're going to get your answer, and then you're going to divide your answer. That's the division. I don't know why I put addition. It's going to be a long video if I make these mistakes. And divide that by 52. Gail is a part-time. Question number two, Gail is part-time. So she worked 45 hours. That's overtime. So we need to figure out what her overtime pay is. So we're going to take 1.5 and we're going to times it by 15. And we're going to get a number. And this represents OT pay. All right, now she did OT pay for 5 hours, so I'm going to times that by 5 and get a number. And then I'm going to take the 15 regular pay, and I'm going to times it by the 40 regular hours, and I get a number there. So add these two numbers, you get $712.50. John's a car salesman, 15% commission. That is 0.15 times his total sales, which is $45,200. There you go. Daniel's bank charges $20, so he falls below $200, so he's sitting at $322.94, and then he withdraws $150 and he gets a number. Now this number is obviously lower than $200, so he's going to be charged, but it's going to be 4 months. So I'm going to times that, or I'm sorry, not times it. I was doing so good until I started messing up. And then I'm going to subtract $80 because $20 each month for 4 months. Jill's medical insurance is $13,500 per year. Her company pays 91% of the cost. Now, if the company pays 91%, that means she pays 9%. All right, so I'm going to take $13,500 and I'm going to times it by 0.09, and I'm going to get my answer. Now, my answer represents how much she's got to pay for yearly. Now, she is getting paid monthly. So I'm going to divide this by 12 because every single month her paycheck gets deducted by that medical cost. All right. Joe's a high school student. His gross pay is $370. Now, you should remember the setup. You are going to take gross pay and you're going to multiply it by all the percentages of all the categories. So federal income tax was 12%. It's all right up here, 12%, state income tax, so on and so forth. Now, once you get your answer, or once you get all your multiplications down or whatever, take all of these numbers. Now, medical, union, and other, we didn't have anything, so that's why I X'd them out. Add them all up and subtract it from 370 to get the difference, which is your net pay. Remember, net pay is what you're bringing home. Net pay is what you're bringing home. Gross pay is what you made before taxes. Chuck is a teacher for a high school system. He has been teaching for 32 years and will be retiring at the end of this year. His pension is calculated. All right, so his pension calculated on the average of his last 2 years. So his last 2 years is 64 and 66. Well, when I average them together, you get 65,000. And I'm going to times it by the percentage, which is 0.019, and then I'm going to times it by the years, which is 32. Do the math, you get Chuck's pension. Jake as a salesman gets 5% commission on the sales. He sold 25. All right, so he gets, so it's 0.05 times the TS, which is total sales. Now, the total sales is 25 computers for $500 each, and then 25 laptops for $400 each. So I'm going to figure out what 25 times 500 is. I'm going to figure out what 25 times 400 is, and I'm going to add that together. So then I'm going to take 0.05 and times it by whatever that dollar amount was when I added all this together. George bought a truck for $50,000. The TABT is 7%. If Joe wrote a check for the entire purchase, that's where it tricked up a lot of folks. It says, how much did he pay in tax? Well, tax is just 7% of the cost. So multiply 7% times 50,000, 750. That's it. Get your answer. Tom invests $200,000 in simple interest. Simple interest is this formula. So it is 20,000 times 0.0375 for 10 years. Do the math, get your interest. Carlos invested, question number 10, in an account that yields 0.5. Up, here we go. Compounded quarterly. Whenever it's quarterly, it's going to be the big formula right here, the big boy. All right. Quarterly is 4. So let me do this in another color so it stands out. So it's going to be 15,000 parenthesis 1 plus par, which is 0.035 over 4, close parenthesis, to the 4 times 5 power. Now, when you get your answer, this will be the balance. That means how much money you have right now, which would be roughly about $17,800. So I think you would get $17,855.10. But the question is asking you is how much interest did he earn? Interest means how much money did he make? Well, we started with 15,000. He now has 17,000. Do the subtraction problem. Boom, there you go. A difference of $2,855. Joe deposited $24,000 in a savings account that pays 6.7. Compounded up, here we go, continuously. Continuously is this formula here. All right. So what is the balance? So we have 24,000 e to the power of 0.067 times 5. Get your answer. That will be your balance, and that's what the question's asking you. Question number 12. Taylor's 18 years old. He invests $15,000 in the CD and plans on keeping his money for a very long time. So if it doesn't say continuously or quarterly or monthly, it's the simple interest formula, which will be 15,000 parenthesis 0.03 close parenthesis. Let's see, 1869. I believe that is 51 years. When I press enter, I get my interest. But the question is asking for balance. So once you get your interest, add it back to the balance to get your answer, which is 37,000. Now this goes without saying, but hopefully you are pausing the video if I'm going way too fast. Again, I'm just giving you helpful hints on all this stuff. According to John's statement from his bank, his ending balance is $479,000 or $479.09. Did the checking account reconcile? Reconcile means did the bank and John, do they agree with how much money he has? So here's how you do this. Going up into your check register, notice that some things are checked. Now, if anything's checked, that means the bank has cleared it and it's good. Technically, you wouldn't do this in real life, but in this problem, anything that's checked really has nothing to do with what we're trying to do. It's all the other stuff, which is this check to Aunt Kathy that has not been cleared yet. Meaning, these are things that John has done. The bank just doesn't know about it because it hasn't been cleared yet. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to take how much money the bank says John has, which is $479, $479.09. You are going to subtract any check that has not been cleared, and then you are going to add any deposit that has not been cleared. When you get your answer, it should match $92.38. Now, as you can see, I put no, it does not match. It actually equals $102.38. So then, if the bell rings, I'm going to keep the video going. So if the answer is no, how much was the balance off? Well, it should have been $92. It was end up being $102. There you go, a $10 difference. Birch Gross's pay is $1,250 semi-monthly. Convert his weekly pay to the following. Now, do not go straight from semi-monthly to weekly. Don't do that. You'll make a mistake. What you need to do is convert this to yearly. Do yearly first. So take this and convert it to yearly, which semi-monthly, that would be timesing it by 24. When you do that, there you go. I already solved it for you. You get $30,000. I'm writing all over it. Now, from $30,000, then divide back to figure out what all your different numbers are going to be. So go straight from 30,000 to whatever it is you're solving for. And that's how you do it. All right. In this part here, let's see if we can do this quickly before I turn off this video for this first video. Nope, that's not what I want to do. All right. So here we have a W-2. Remember, you get this at the end of every year, and you're going to answer Joe's questions off his W-2. So first off, how much money did he make? $45,000. Question number 20. Question number 21. How much money did the federal government collect from Joe in taxes? Well, they took $12,867 through taxes. Now, how much should the federal government collect? Now, this is, hopefully you remember in class, this is where you go to the table. Now, you do not look up $45,500. That would be incorrect. Do not do that. If you remember, when you're filling out your taxes for the federal government, you have this infamous 6,300. And what you're going to do is you're going to take how much money Joe made and subtract 6,300. Why 6,300? I don't know. That's a special number the IRS loves. So when you do that, 45. You are going to get $39,200, I believe, if I do that quickly. That is the number you look up, that number. So when you looked it up, $5,600 is how much the federal government should have collected. Now, they ended up collecting almost double that, more than double. So that means he's going to get a refund. Joe overpaid. So how much money is he going to get back? $7,276. That was a horrible circle. I'll try that again. There we go. That's not too much better, but anyway. Now, let's go to the state. How much did the state collect from Joe in taxes? Well, go to the W-2, $7,742. Now, how much should the state collect in Joe in taxes? Same thing like with the federal. But the state of Georgia loves $5,000. So you're going to take $4,500. Oop, I just saw where I made a mistake there. That should have been a zero there. So I'm sure you're yelling at the screen right now. I'm sorry. So 45,000 minus 5,000, you get 40,000. Now again, where did the state of Georgia get 5,000? I don't know. That's the number they did when they were doing the IRS stuff. So the 40,000 is the number that you're looking up. So when I looked up 40,000 on the state income taxes, it ended up being $2,213. So that's how much the state should have collected from Joe. If you look right above it, that's how much they did take. So obviously they took almost triple than what they should have. So, or double, whatever, however you look at it. So obviously Joe overpaid. So that means he will receive the difference in a refund. So there you go. Now the tax table and all that will be supplied to you when you take the final. But the biggest thing is to remember the $5,000 for state, and then lastly, the $6,300 for federal. All right, let's see what else we got. I think we're going to conclude video 1. So stay tuned for video 2. Thank you for watching.